Hey, what's up, guys? Cox97 here with the Walking Dead Volume 3 Safety Behind Bars Summary. Yeah! Now, warning, this volume's freaking crazy. There's lots of stuff that happens in this volume. So, previously in The Walking Dead, basically, they found this prison. It's filled with zombies, but it might become their new safe haven. Will it or will it not? We will find out right away. We lost a character in the last volume that originated from the first volume. Donna. We lost Donna. Now, Donna was Alan's wife, and ever since she died, he's been a total wreck. He hasn't done crap. He's fricked up. He lost his wife, and he's lost everything. And the problem, though, is that he has to take care of his two sons, Ben and Billy, but he's not doing very well on that. So, yeah, let's get started. So, right off the bat, they go driving through the gate to get into the prison. There was a broken down part of the gate that they got in. So to close off the gate, they're looking around, they're thinking, well, there are lots of zombies, we'll have to try our best to get rid of them. So, there's a search team that goes around the, basically there are 3 different gates inside the prison, so the prison is surrounded by 3 different gates. So there are people searching in between the gates to make sure no zombies are in between the gates. While Rick, Andrea, and Tyrese go out to clear all the zombies in the middle of the prison. So yeah, they go out, they start clearing zombies, lots of zombie killings, lots of good zombie killing. But then, whole bunch of zombies come out from inside the prison. It's a giant zombie attack. This one starts out with lots of zombie killing. Meanwhile, Alan is watching on the RV. He's still a wreck. He's crying and stuff. He's just messed up as usual. Chris and Julie, Tyrese's daughter and her boyfriend, are watching the kids. Chris is just being a complete nerd, you know, complaining and stuff. Blah, 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 blah. I don't really like the Chris character. They're running out of ammo, so Andrea goes back to get some more ammo. Sophie and Carl, Sophia, you know, they're chatting and stuff. They're little kids. Nice little puppy love. That's nice. Meanwhile, you know, they're still walking around, hoping that this might become their new house. We hope so. Eventually, they run out of, eventually they're about to run out of ammo, but luckily, they killed all the zombies. So, like, alright, well, we're gonna have to burn all these bodies. There's hundreds of them, so we're gonna have to burn them all. So they camp in between the gates. So they're still gonna have to pack into the RV, but hopefully they'll get inside and stuff. And they're out of food. They're completely out of food. So hopefully this will work out. If it doesn't, they're screwed. So they wake up the next morning. Lori is puking and stuff. Basically, it's obvious that she's pregnant. You know, things are going well. Everyone's kind of happy because, you know, they found their new safe haven, hopefully. So, they're deciding they're going to go into the prison. So, Rick and Tyrese go inside the prison, kill a couple zombies. They're at the cafeteria. So, like, alright, this is going to be intense, lots of stuff. Oh, what's that? They're not sure what's behind the door, but, just 4 dudes sitting around. Hey, want some meatloaf? So, yeah. So they're like, yeah, frick yeah, we want some meatloaf. We get to meet them and stuff. Everyone comes inside. Holy crap, this is a nice place. Yay! So the 4 guys ask what's going on outside because apparently they've been in there for about a month or so. They explain, well, everything's gone. There's no government, no army, nothing. Everyone's screwed, basically. Okay then. So we meet the 4 prison guys. Actually, they're not guards. They were actually inmates. So the 4 guys... The guy with the white beard is Axel. He was in prison for an armed robbery. The guy with the glasses, his name is Thomas. He was here because it was a tax fraud, but it wasn't his fault. Doesn't sound very likely. The other guy, he's here because of drugs, and then the guy right here is here for murder. So, of course, everyone looks at him like, ooh, he's here for murder. So he just states that, well, as long as you're not my wife or her boyfriend, I won't kill you. Oh, alright, thank you. So we get to, you know, meet them and stuff. They show around the prison. They show the huge storage of food. They're like, hey, what's this place? The freezer? And he says, no, don't go in there. You see, apparently all the ventilation stopped, so everyone had to do their dirty business in the freezer because it wasn't working anymore. So when you open that door, it stinks like crap. More than crap, like everything. So they open the gym, and immediately, oh, they're introduced by a whole bunch of zombies. So they immediately close that door, and it's like, yeah, we'll get to that later. We want to rest. So they go around, go into the showers. There's this one area with a whole bunch of buses that might be safe if they have to escape in a quick run. Lori is not comfortable with the fact that they're living with a whole bunch of inmates. But, hey, where else are we going to live? So Rick decides, you know what, I'm going to be a nice guy. Remember Herschel and Glenn and all those people that we met back there when Carl got shot in Volume 2? He's going to go back to Herschel's farm and, invite them all to the prison because, it's a nice thing to do. He goes back to the farm and, oh crap, what happened? Well, there was another zombie attack. No one died, but there are more zombie attacks. Things aren't going well, so he invites them all to the prison. Like, hey, everyone, come over here. We got a nice, safe haven. So everyone's like, thank you so much, man. So everyone comes back to the prison. Everything's, going well and stuff. Lori is having her, mood swings and stuff because of the pregnancy. So things keep on going well. They're dealing with the fact that they're living with a whole bunch with 4 inmates. Hoping things are going well. Don't really know a whole lot about Thomas so far. The guy who was charged for murder, his name is. Crap, I forgot his name. But the other guy, the guy who was in here for drugs, his name is Andrew. I forgot the other guy's name. Oh, well. So, they're still getting used to the life, chatting and stuff. Herschel apologizes to Rick for pointing the gun at his head, in the previous volume, so that's nice. Things are going well. Things are going very well. So, of course, something bad is about to happen. This is the start of the craziness of this volume. So, we go back to Julie and Chris. Remember them? Yeah, it sounded like they were going to do something where they were together forever, and they got guns, so it doesn't sound very good. So they had some fun. They're like, all right, let's do this. Yep, let's do this. All right, let's go, let's go. Actually, they're pointing the guns at each other. So they're getting ready, and blam! So Rick stands up, runs over. Oh, crap, what's happening? What's happening? He opens the door, and oh, my God, no, 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 no. Yeah, Julie's dead. But what's even worse is that Tyrese is there holding his dead daughter, while Chris, the punk kid, he's perfectly fine. He's all the way up in the corner like, no, 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 this isn't how it was supposed to be, no. So then he explains that apparently they were going to kill each other and they would be together forever. They were crazy. So Tyrese is completely upset. Rick is like, dude, you have to let her go. And he says, no, she'll come back. She'll come back. I'll get to talk to her again. And Rick points out, well, she wasn't bitch. She got shot. And then Tyrese points a gun at him like, shut the frick up. I don't like you anymore. He's going crazy right now. And then, oh my God, what? That's a shocker. She comes back to life. Oh, she wasn't bit. She comes back to life and attacks him. And Chris finally does something to make his life worthwhile and shoots Julie to save Tyrese. However, Tyrese didn't want anyone to shoot Julie. So, he grabs him by the throat, chokes him to death. He murdered Chris. That's wonderful. So then Rick is like, dude, you just killed him, man. And he's like, yeah, now he's going to come back to life and I'm going to kill him again. Slower this time. So Rick is like, all right, I'm just going to, give you some space. So you can do whatever you want. I'll talk to you in the morning, get a cup of coffee. So he goes back and he tells everyone that they both committed suicide because he doesn't want to put Tyrese in a bad light saying, well, Chris killed Julie and then he murdered Chris. So, I mean, that doesn't sound as good. So he's pointing out that, well, they both committed suicide. But yeah, Rick can't forget the fact that Julie came back to life as a zombie, but she wasn't bit. He can't sleep. He's wondering, what the heck is that? So the next day, he goes up to Tyrese, who burned the bodies. He talks to Tyrese and stuff. And Tyrese smiles and is like, yep, everything's okay. I'm good, man. He walks off. So, obviously, something's wrong with the guy now. He just lost his daughter and murdered a guy, and he's smiling. Heathen. So, anyway, he's talking to Lori, and he's explaining that he's going to leave the prison. He's going to take a trip, He's going to go find out something. And Lori, of course, objects to this. They have the argument, the marriage dying sort of argument. Axel is actually becoming nicer, so far the inmates. Thomas, we don't really know a whole lot about him. We don't really like him. The other two guys, the drug user and the murderer, we don't really like them, especially the murderer guy. He's kind of mean. But Axel, he's actually a pretty cool guy. We're actually starting to like him. Well, there's this one very annoying thing. He says, you follow me. every line that he says, he always says at the end, "You follow me?" It gets very annoying to me. But anyway, so Rick is going to leave, go on a trip. He'll be gone for about a day. He'll go, find out about something. So, alright. Hey, Thomas, what's up? So Thomas is talking to Patricia, and, Thomas is acting nice, which, isn't good. He's acting too nice. So, of course, everyone's getting used to the life and stuff. Otis, the guy who accidentally shot Carl, I forgot to mention, he actually isn't in the prison. He's somewhere else. I'm not exactly sure where he is, but he'll come back to the prison eventually. But anyway, Maggie and Glenn, they're really getting it on. They really like each other and stuff. They go to the barber chair, so they have some fun, and they get a nice haircut, too. So, meanwhile, Rick is still traveling on his motorcycle, traveling off somewhere. He's going to be gone for a day, so he's going really, really far. So, things are going well and stuff. Glenn and Maggie got haircuts. Glenn is now completely bald, so, get used to the look of them. Then we get a nice angle. Rick is driving past Wilshire Estates. That was a while back. So where the heck is he going? He's going really far away. So meanwhile, Tyrese points out, "Hey, why don't we go clear out that gym? Huh? I like exercising and stuff. I'm gonna go into that gym now." So Billy, one of Herschel's children, Glenn and Andrea and Tyrese are like, "All right, let's do this. Come on, let's go. Let's go into the gym. Clear this out." He opens the door, they come out with the plan, but Tyrese, forget the plan. He runs out. Going freaking haywire. Meanwhile, lots of going back and forth. Rick is what looks to be at Atlanta. That was back in the first volume. What the heck is he doing in Atlanta? Meanwhile, Tyrese runs right to the middle of the gym, and all the zombies surround him. Tyrese! Holy crap, no. That doesn't look too good for Tyrese. So, Rick goes, and hey, what do you know? He goes to where Shane was buried, back in Volume 1. And what do you know? Shane wasn't bit, he was shot in the throat by Carl. He comes back to life. What do you know? He stands up as a zombie, and Rick's like, this doesn't make sense. So, basically, everyone is infected, but the bite is the only thing that kills you. So technically, if we stopped the bite from killing you, say if we stop the infection from getting to you, we save you? It's kind of weird. We don't really understand what's going on, so that's interesting. So then he shoots Shane to finally, put things to rest, and then he says, "I ain't gonna bury you again, you son of a crap face." So he goes off. More craziness happens and stuff. Tyrese, we don't know what happened to Tyrese. Meanwhile, back at the prison, Herschel, he's wandering around looking for where his two little girls are, Rachel and Susie. He's wondering where they went. They said they were going to go to the barber shop to go get haircuts or something. So he's looking around. "Hey, where are you girls? Hello?" Oh my god, what the frick? He walks in, and they're both dead. Their heads were cut off. Crap. So, Rick gets on his motorcycle and continues driving back. It's not good. Why did he leave? Because so far things aren't going too well. Maggie walks over and finds Herschel. "Yo, Herschel, what's up?" "Oh my god!" And what do you know? They both come back to life. The two dead girls. Their heads come back to life. Of course. So, Glenn walks over and finds them. Or no, not yet, actually. Meanwhile, in the gym, they both look over. Tyrese is surrounded by the zombies. They can't do anything about it. So they lock the doors. They have to keep him in. Tyrese, I don't know if he's... We haven't seen him die yet, but that doesn't look too good for Tyrese. I like Tyrese. He was pretty cool. Kind of went a little crazy, but oh well. So, meanwhile, the prison inmates are talking and stuff, wondering how things are going. Axel, so far, really likes the people. Andrew and, dang it, I can't remember that other guy. Oh well. But, Dexter, that's his name. The guy who did the murder. His name's Dexter. Alright, Andrew and Dexter, they don't like the people. Thomas, we don't really know a whole lot about Thomas. So, right now, the mystery is, who killed the two little girls? So, we don't really know. Everyone goes, talking and stuff, and, Glenn, Billy, and Andrea get back from the gym and point out that, Tyrese isn't back. So, Carol immediately freaks out, like, "What happened?" And he says, "We had to leave him." So she's very, very, very upset.